Easy Victus is in the house, and you know it's time to get down with some animated TV show business. Let's get into it. It's been 15 long years since Avatar the Last Airbender premiered on Nickelodeon, and our generation hasn't been the same since. Every show, and definitely every animated show afterwards, doesn't hold a candle to the amazingness that Avatar brought to the table. There are many reasons why it rose to such high popularity and why it is loved and cherished 15 years after its release date, as well as breaking a record for being the longest standing Netflix top 10 show ever with an astounding 61 days under its belt. And that's 15 years after it came out. That's crazy. The show brought a new love for episodic content for young viewers instead of shows that have a random story each episode they come out with. We had the ability, as children, to relate and love the main cast of characters as they defied the odds and pursued their goals. First of all, the first point that the creators of the show hit was the child fantasy. We all gazed at the screen, wishing that we could all leave home if we ever wanted to on a 10-ton flying bison. There was a sense of pride that if these preteens could do it, then anyone could. This provides excellent content when watching, as well as daydream fuel whenever we unglue our eyes from the TV. Secondly, the very realistic friendships that each character had with one another was fantastic. In no way was it all sunshine and roses. Each character has had a problem or started having a problem with another person in the group as they went on their journey. They fought and bickered and just as realistically made up. It flowed so well and was truly believable. Along with the hard times, there were also great times they had, and enjoying each other's company even though each one of them was vastly different than the other. They overcame their differences and still loved each other just the same. Thirdly, it has a wildly relatable cast of characters. Like I said, each of them had vastly different personalities. This makes a wider audience able to enjoy and find a relatable character to themselves to love and adore. Any type of child there is, whatever upbringing or past, could find themselves inside a character, feeling their struggles as they have in their own life. As children and preteens, emotions run rampant, and being able to relate to something or someone when your world seems to have been turned upside down is very refreshing and nice. Fourthly, the world building and scenery and the landscapes were immaculate. As the seasons progressed, we were able to admire all kinds of landscapes and societies, from barren deserts to icy poles to mushy, gross swamps. This is perfect for a young audience with vivid imaginations. The political aspect sprinkled in also was very mature for a young audience as well, making us feel more mature as we learned and watched it all play out. Fifthly, the driving forces of each character. There wasn't a main character whose backstory and goal wasn't easily perceivable by the target audience. Toph, per se, was an overly protected child and was looked down onto as weak and feeble by her parents. So, she rebelled and went with Team Avatar on their journey. And as well, Aang was a 12-year-old kid tasked with the impossible at such a young age, filled with grief but also determination. He learned all 4 elements by the last season, final episode, to defeat and end the reign of the Fire Lord. Zuko, a banished prince and burned by his father due to speaking out of turn. While banished, he set everything into finding and returning the Avatar to his father to regain his honor. But this gets me into the next reason, the character arcs. Zuko's character arc, in my opinion, was so beautiful and so well portrayed that I wouldn't have it any other way. He realized that his uncle Iroh had been a way better father figure to him than his own father. He chose to finally defy him and become good rather than do evil like his sister and his father. This takes guts and was most likely the hardest thing he's ever had to do in his entire life. And it's not like Uncle Iroh had like a huge character arc or anything, but his arc going from being the war general and going in and trying to mess up Ba Sing Se to actually being someone who lived in Ba Sing Se, and his whole character just throughout his whole entire life has learned so much, and he's learned to just be at peace with almost everything and try to just love everybody. And I don't know, honestly, he's one of my favorite characters. I love Iroh. He's amazing. One of the character arcs that actually I don't think gets touched up on enough is Azula's character arc. I mean, so you go from her in the very beginning showing no remorse whatsoever to really anybody. And going throughout the show, we go to Ember Island, and she really opens up a little bit, actually, to Zuko as well as Ty Lee and May, but just for a few seconds. We get to see she actually has emotions, and was pretty upset about how she was treated by her mother, which, I mean, compared to what happened to Zuko is whatever, but still. And she went from thinking she had so much power over her friends to getting messed up by Ty Lee and May betraying her, as well as Zuko, which, you know, has already happened before, caused her to go mentally insane. A show that I've seen on Nickelodeon has never showed a realistic mental breakdown of somebody, and it played out so realistic. It was actually pretty hard to watch. I mean, even now, having to watch Azula literally break down and cry so realistically is really all I can say about it. Her arc is one of the ones that not many people talk about, but was the most realistic. And even though it wasn't like a she got good in the end, or she got what she wanted, I could definitely see that happening in real life. Now guys, Avatar the Last Airbender has characters who can hurl water, fire, earth, or wind with their bodies. I think that calls for a reason why this show is so good also. We all have taken the test online to see what kind of bender we could be, of course. It's because it's so cool. I mean, being able to just say like fly away on your glider or stand on top of a raging tidal wave sounds pretty damn cool to me. I think we all know how much more interesting life would be if bending was a real thing. I would personally love it. Oh, and let me know somewhere in the comments what kind of bender you would like to be, or what you think you would be based off of your personality. I always like seeing who wants to be what. It's so interesting to me. Lastly, we have the art style, which was amazing. Of course, it got better and smoother, or cleaner, however you want to call it, as the seasons went on, but it was overall really, really nice. I loved how it was influenced by anime and has kind of the same art style as anime does, with a lot of sleek features and awesome battles. It was so cool to watch. So there you have it, everybody. The reasons why Avatar the Last Airbender was such a great show. In what ways do you think that The Last Airbender was so great? Also, if you think I missed a reason, which I probably did, this show is full of reasons to like it, then let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you think, or read what you all think, actually. And yes, you there right there, you! Make sure you stay notified when my next video comes out by clicking my big ol' noggin right here to subscribe, as well as look at my video right here, which talks about how did Aang die in Avatar the Last Airbender. And also hit that bell if you really like the video, because you'll know whenever my next video comes out, which is usually Tuesdays and Fridays, but I sometimes sprinkle it in between the weeks, you know. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and have a great day.